We had practice last Sunday and gave them Monday off last week as well. So I think part of that is, but I was very, very encouraged and impressed with how we handled yesterday's travel and then came out to practice because it was a long day. But I thought for what we tried to get accomplished, we were able to do so.
One thing I wanted to ask about, especially in regard to the last game, is just how do you think you guys can better handle quarterback runs and just scrambling in general?
Well, again, somebody spying the quarterback, doing some things. Part of that, there's some things in, contained we got to do a better job of. One of those, we had a stunt and we didn't get the other guy wrapped around. He got pinned in. And I think I can answer this in a lot of things that maybe go along with this game is if there was one or two things that we could just exactly put our finger on, and this happens a lot, is that if it's one player or one particular situation that sometimes, but especially on defense, we talk a lot, you got 11 guys, do your 1/11th of the job, and at different times there's just a different breakdown. That's probably the one that we didn't have as much as we had the week before, is we just had too many of those situations. And I think again, it's a great learning time, something we got to work on and improve this week. And as we're playing an experienced quarterback, and I think our guys are ready for that challenge.
Yeah, what stands out to you about BYU at this point?
Well, again, I think it's probably made a lot about is, of course, the probably the age and maturity of the team. It's, I think average age of the roster is like is 22 years old or something versus what a traditional college roster is. So the size and maturity and those things, the experience, well coached. They had a big win. That was a big road win for them. To be down 2 scores on the road and to come back and win in the fashion that they did, you can tell they're well coached, poised, that maturity that you're looking for. And for them to come here for their first Big 12 game, I'm sure they're going to be excited about the opportunity. And, there's 30-plus undefeated teams in the country right now, and they're one of them. So it's going to be a great challenge.
Do you see any parallels between your 3-0 start this year and last year's?
I honestly, by the time the game and the travel, I really haven't even come across to think about it. But, I think that there is, because our great communication staff gives me little tidbits every now and then. But to realize that, this program hasn't been 3-0 consecutive years since 91, 92 really says a lot about what our staff and our program and our players have really gotten accomplished. And really, sometimes you got to, I think sometimes a couple things that kind of hit me after the game. One, we better embrace victories around here. And some aren't going to be as pretty as others. But wins have been pretty darn tough to come at the University of Kansas for quite a while. And we need to make sure that we embrace them and then take it and go coach harder and play harder and get it corrected and go. So when you see some of these things, as you go through we've won 4 road games since we've been here. And there's 4 road wins since 2009 before we arrived. I mean, this program has come a long way in a very short period of time. And for us to take that now into conference play is going to be important. Comparing it, I don't know. I barely compare game to game. I worry about what's the next thing and what do we have to try to do in certain areas to get better. So I'm probably not answering it very well, but I do want to make sure is, I said it to our team a couple times yesterday. Maybe we were expected to win by more last week, but at the same time, there's a lot of other people across the country that were expected to win and didn't. And it doesn't mean that we're not addressing it, but we're going to make sure that we embrace it, and we found a way, and now it's time to get on to BYU.
You guys went with Patrick for the start, Patrick Joyner for
Yep.
the start over Hayden. Is Hayden fully healthy, or you just?
Yeah, no, Hayden was not healthy. He was emergency only. Got in the fourth quarter. You know, like I said last night, you know, we had a lot of guys that were very limited in a very short workout, and we haven't met yet as a staff to get anything about where we're heading this week yet. But yeah, he barely practiced last week, and it was emergency only.
Lance, I was looking through some stats this morning, and the defense is ranked 21st in total defense in the country. What is it have you seen from those guys the first 3 games that have led to that?
Yeah, you know, we know we had to improve defense, which I don't want to take away because I think we're getting some really good effort. Again, but especially non-conference, it's so hard to compare, you know, when everybody's playing different people and matchups cross country to hold a ton into where you rank. But I think, again, up front, we're still playing at a better, more consistent level that's allowing us. I think, again, the experience of the back 7 is continually showing itself. I think, you know, so it's a holistic, better change. Now, that said, I mean, we forced 5 fumbles and didn't recover any of them. You know, that's, you know, so what does that mean? Are we, you know, do we got enough people around the ball once it's around? Is it just sometimes one of those things that goes in stretches? So we're going to need to do better in the turnover margin and creating and hanging on to those this week and in the conference play. But I would like to think it's a culmination of a lot of things. Our understanding of the defense, our experience there, maturity and development of players, all those things kind of give us a better chance. And I know that group's a lot more confident than it has been.
You looking forward to a 2:30 kick?
Yeah, I don't even know. I have to brush that one off. Sounds like we got 2 in a row now. So, yeah, especially when you're, you know, to play that late and kind of go through those. Yeah, whatever rhythm we're in. I guess that's one thing is the opportunity to play in the afternoon, and should be nice. I anticipate we'd have a real nice crowd. We're going to need a great home field environment here at the booth, and just excited to get Big 12 playoff.
Did you think Jalen's fumble was a fumble? Because he had said after the game that he thought it was a forward pass.
Yeah, it got reviewed. I don't know. It was hard to tell. I know it was pretty quick of a where it was at. I haven't really gone back to look at it to challenge it anymore since he doesn't do much good anymore. So, but it was close. You know, it's unfortunate.
I mean, are you concerned about ball security offensively?
Oh yeah,
at all to this
yeah.
point?
We fumbled too much. You know, now that play alone. I mean, he's he's getting ready to be in the throwing motion. That's one. That's not a technique thing. You know, those are going to happen. But we've had a few that where the opponent's putting their pad or their helmet on the ball and the ball's popping out. We've got to do a better job of keeping it tighter to our body, our wrist above elbow, using the offhand to secure the ball, all those things. We drill it. We got to keep emphasizing it. And it's not like you're going to go live a whole bunch of times in practice. So you got to keep finding ways to drill it, emphasize it, and make sure it happens because, as you see, I think we had 9 possessions a game. On Saturday, that's not a lot, and we got to make sure we make the use of each and every one.